Alright guys, so how to prevent getting scammed by VAs companies. So today I'm gonna tell you exactly the numbers you should expect and how do you know the difference between a legit VA and if you even have your own VA, what are the expectations you should be setting and the KPIs that you need for them. So first of all, if you let's say you have a cold caller, right? And you've been getting cold leads, mostly bluffers, stuff like that. If the VA has fluent English and he is skillful and he can speak and have a proper conversation with the seller, and how do you know that? You can just check a call recording, one of the leads he's getting, stuff like that. So if he is good as a cold caller and you're not getting good results, let's say not that many leads or not that many qualified, motivated people leads, then in that case, it's not the VA fault. It's actually the data fault. Guys, you can have the best cold caller in the world, but if the data isn't good enough, it will not matter. It will literally not matter who is doing the cold calling. Even if you are the one who's doing the cold calling and you're the best cold caller, best salesperson, the data must be good. When I say data is good, I mean the people in that list are motivated and distressed. Okay, how can you get good data? Usually just look for the county data. It's for free, most of it, majority. So, and it's accessible online. You can access to the county data online in a lot of states and a lot of areas and a lot of counties. What kind of data you should be looking from the county? Tax delinquent, code violations, pre-foreclosure, foreclosures, probates, utility shut-off, water shut-off, felony list. And if you are a realtor and you have access to the MLS, you can even pull the expired listing for the past 3 months. So once you have this kind of list, and you can do a small test yourself and call them and see if they're motivated or not. If they are, then you can start judging the VA. If you have a good caller, a good VA, and he has that kind of list, he will start to produce to you leads. Why? Because the people are motivated. No one on the phone ask if the seller is interested or not, will tell them, and the seller says yes, and the VA will just say, okay, no, I'm not gonna consider you as a lead. Why would he do that? It doesn't make sense. If someone is interested, the VA will gladly take him and push him as a lead for you. It's not like they're gonna say no, unless he is some kind of abuser, he doesn't care about his job. But the majority of VAs, if they are good ones, good English, no accent and all that, they will take you as a lead. They will get you leads. Obviously, the only difference between a good cold caller and a bad cold caller is if you have, let's say, 90% chances of getting most of the leads in that certain list. If you have a bad VA, then it will be 70 or 60%, depends on how skillful the VA is, if he's good with rebuttals, if he has accent or not. All of that will matter. Okay, what else matters? The amount of calls, guys. I cannot explain how many times I get people tell me my VA is doing 600 calls a day, 400 calls a day, 200 calls a day. Really doesn't matter. Why? Because those calls, depends on the platform you're using, are actually dials. They're not calls. Calls, what can be considered as a call is actual human conversation call. So by all means, if you're telling me they're having 600 human conversations per day, that's impossible. So what should you be expecting? If they're having actual conversation calls, it should be minimum 190 calls a day. So 190 conversations. And it's small conversations, not even that much. So what you should be looking for is on call time. How what is the time they're spending on phone call actually talking to people. So if they're making 200 calls, conversations, you should be expecting not less than 2 hours minimum of on-call time. So 2 hours of actual conversation time. Okay, what else? So most of the dialers out there, guys, are actually making dials like Ready Mode, Mojo Dialer. God, if you're using Mojo Dialer, you're already in hell. You know, even the manual platforms like AirCall, you know, smartphone, all of that, they're all doing dials. So if you're getting 400 calls, that's actually dials, not calls. Dials can be, you know, he's ringing the phone number and it's a failed number, or it's a voicemail, or it's busy. It's not conversations. So what you should be counting is dials and also calls. So calls are actually people answer their phone. That's how you measure the KPIs of the call caller. So if you have all of that fit, let's say you're making the call caller is making 200 calls, so 200 conversations, right, every single day, 8-hour shift, and you have good data, niche data from the county, you know, let's say minimum 2,000 records, and they all from the county, fresh data, and the skip tracing is accurate. It's really important that you have a good skip tracing. If the agent is making 200 calls per day, what you should be expecting in wrong numbers to be considered as a good skip tracing is from 20 to like 30 wrong numbers per day per 200 calls connected humans. You see how it makes sense a little bit now? So guys, make sure you get a good dialer platform. That's one of all. Make sure you get good data, especially niche data from the county, right? If you guys need help on how to find that, I can make another video. It's really simple to find county records, really. Also, you need to make sure the data that you have is also skip traced in a good, accurate platform, and you have a good call caller. So we're talking about 5 conditions to see actual good results. So once all those conditions are fit, then you can start judging. But I assure you, if all 5 conditions are met, it's a guaranteed 100, not even 99, 100%, you would get quality good leads every single day. Hopefully I have helped you guys. This is Omar from CEO of Ridge VA. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, leave it on the comment. Big thanks to Zach Jean for helping on giving his courses for free. I really like the guy. I really learned a lot from him. Hopefully one day I got to meet him and talk to him. Thank you.